And welcome back to Central Valley Talk, COVID edition. Do you have it? Do you know somebody who has it? I don't know anybody that has it, but I don't want to catch it. So stop breathing and coughing on me, everybody. Stop hugging me and shaking my hands and stuff like that. We're dedicated. I'm going to take this off during the interview because I'm distanced from my guest by about 6 feet or so. We're talking a lot of health issues these days and trying to figure out what's the safest way to live, what's the healthiest way to live, how to build your immune system and make sure you're doing okay in this society in case you are exposed to COVID. To that end, we invited our old friend back, Erick Carson, who has Nuvia Water Technologies. Welcome, Erick.
Thank you, Mike.
Do you have the COVID?
I do not.
Very good.
At least not. No, I'm good.
But part of avoiding it is just keeping safe and being healthy. And you and I were talking a bit about the water in our area, not just Fresno, but this whole San Joaquin Valley, and how problematic it can be and what we need to do to clean it up. Tell us about that.
Well, to understand why water is what it is, you have to understand how it gets here. Most people have no idea where it comes from.
Faucet, right?
Well, no, it falls out of the sky, and when it falls out of the sky, I want you to think of a drop of water as a catcher's mitt. Everything it touches, it's going to bring along for the ride. So all the jet fuel, the smoke from the burning orchards, the smoke from the forest fires, smoke from the factories, dust, mold, pollen, all of that gets driven to the ground, and you can tell just by looking at your car after it rains. Okay, we have the worst
That's what's getting in our water.
Yeah, well, that's the start. As it comes down the mountain, it drags all the rest of the periodic table with it. Gets into the rivers and streams, we get dead fish, dead birds, dead bugs, dead everything. We get algae, bacteria, Giardia, E. coli. So by the time it gets to the underground cavern, it's nasty.
That's where we get it. The city drills down and pulls it out of the ground.
Right.
It's not from some secret pipeline or something.
No. And the thing is, they have to do the same thing to the water that we do to the public pools. And the hardest thing is making people realize the water coming out of their tap is basically the same as the public pool, and in some cases worse.
Yeah.
Because, you see, we don't absorb water when we're in the shower. We absorb the chemicals out of it. It goes right through the pores of our skin, and it's a short distance to your bloodstream.
Right.
Once it's in your bloodstream, it visits every organ in your body in about 26 seconds.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's nobody would want to cook with pool water or drink pool water, but you turn on your faucet, you have pool water.
Basically pool water.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. And so let's talk about some of the health issues. What comes from that? Like you said, you're in the shower, you're absorbing right through your skin.
Right, and we don't need to be disinfected on the inside. Okay, and that's exactly what's happening. Especially when you're taking a shower. I mean, your pores open up because of the hot water, and on top of that, a lot of the steam that you're breathing has very toxic gases in it. Bromoform, chloroform, bromodichloromethane. There's all kinds of haloacetic acids in the water. It's crazy.
When I get in the shower, I turn it on and steam that place a lot before I step in, but I'm just then breathing in the chemicals that are attached to the water. Wow, I never thought of that.
So, and it's literally 100 times more dangerous to your body to breathe it than it is to absorb it. But you got to do your homework, and I'm a student of water. And the more I find out, the more disturbing it is. And when you take into account that places like Fresno, Clovis, all these valley cities take chlorine and add ammonia to it, and they do that periodically, it makes the water cheaper for them but more destructive to us. Chloramine is the one thing.
Nothing they're doing, it makes it better for us. So.
No, and the sad thing is people don't understand that we spend exorbitant amounts of money to fight hard water with harsh chemicals. We know it as Tide, Cascade, and stuff like that, but we're using chemicals to fight the chemicals in the water to make soap work. And most people, between what they're spending, especially now with COVID driving the cases of water price up,
right,
and driving up the price of disposable goods like that, most people are spending more money not to have good water than it would cost to have great water. And having great water, once you have it, you'll never go back. It changes everything.
I've heard that. People say, oh, that was the best thing that ever happened. Now you're saying you're buying, I see people buying cases and cases of water, especially when COVID hit, but you're still getting the water because you're showering and you're watering your plants, you're watering your vegetables you're growing with your city water. So unless you're buying those little bottles and watering your plants and taking your shower.
Which is nuts.
Yeah.
And they're giving dog to their waters. It's got high arsenic counts and high chromium-6 counts.
And that's just natural. That's just natural in the water, right?
No, that's industrial waste.
Oh, waste.
We have massive industrial waste because of the factories, nonstick pans and stain repellent clothing and We have firefighter foam in the water. We have octane boost in our water. We have rocket fuel in our water.
Yeah, you said that. The planes fly over. They flew over L.A. the other day and dumped their whole load on L.A., and that just goes right down to the ground and into the water.
Absolutely. And it just gets, the deeper you dig, the worse it looks. Okay? But the reality is why would we buy somebody else's water in a bottle we know nothing about that's encased in a petroleum product, when Fresno water, Clovis water, Hanford water, it's all fixable. That's what we do. We fix the water so that the water you're already paying for is actually working for you. And again, once you have great water, you'll never go back because it's that amazing. It's such a different feeling when I hear my daughter upstairs in the shower and I know she's safe. When I hear my wife in the shower and I know she's safe, because they both have asthma and they both have eczema. And when you take the chlorine, which I just consider bleach, out of the water, their skin's not being damaged, their body's not being damaged. It's a totally different thing, and it feels so much better than...
So you could fix it at your house?
Oh, absolutely.
Right,
we fix it at the source.
At the source, okay.
So
how do you do that?
Where the water pops out of the ground, it is now your responsibility at ground level. We intercept the water there. We ambush the water before it ambushes you. And then, and that's kind of a macro level. Think of it like looking at your navigation. You can see everything there, and then when you zoom into a particular address, that's what we do at the sink by purifying the water you use for cooking and drinking. And it's a whole lot cheaper, and I mean a whole lot cheaper than buying it for $6 to $9 a case. Yeah. I was in Chevron right before I got here. They want $9 a case plus CRV. That's just nuts.
And you don't know where it's from. The chlorine, the petroleum bottle it's in is breaking down as you transport it in your hot car and stuff.
Well, that's why there's an expiration date on it. I mean, water never expires, but the carrying case of it does.
Now, Nuvia Water Technologies has a way right at the source. When it pops out of the ground, it's your water now, and you're responsible for whether it's good or bad, and you can make it good. Anybody watching can make the water good.
Absolutely.
How do they do that?
Well, we run it through a series of filters that pulls out first we pull out the stuff that damages your appliances and your pipes. That's your calcium, magnesium, and limestone. And we're lucky, all of us are lucky, that uranium and radium also has the same magnetic charge as calcium carbonate. So a lot of that gets caught in the beads as well. We also run it through a bed of what's called catalytic carbon. Catalytic carbon catches herbicides, pesticides, lead, which is a big deal, chlorine, and ammonia. Now, ammonia is the key thing, because if you don't have the right kind of system and you're running chloramine, which is chlorine with ammonia wrapping through it, it destroys those beads. And before too long, now you got, doesn't matter what Fresno's running or Clovis is running or anybody else, that stuff's coming straight through. It's really expensive to keep rebedding a system when they're already expensive. We do it the right way so that it just lasts and lasts and lasts. Typically, our systems pay for themselves twice before you ever have to worry about doing anything to it. So it's an investment. It's not even a purchase.
It's just what you're talking about, the cases and cases of water and those costs. It pays for itself. So
totally. And it's protecting everything about the house and everyone inside. That's what I love about it.
Now, does a homeowner have to maintain this filter system or change the filters, or how does that work?
Well, my system is a salt-based system. I also have saltless systems for places like Riverstone, where you're not allowed to have a regular water softener. We do what's called a descaler there, and it's a saltless system. But most of the systems that we install use a salt to clean the beads. So the system literally takes a shower every few weeks, cleans itself. It's a fire and forget. Now, the filters under the sink, eventually you're going to have to change them. The difference between that and a refrigerator filter, where you have to change every 3 to 6 months, is my filters will last at least a year, if not 2 or 3.
Going to the store and buying 6 cases of water and carrying it in?
Well, your refrigerator filter doesn't even really work. Yeah. It really doesn't. I always ask people, would you bet your life on something that big around and that long? When I prove to them it's only pulling maybe 10–15% of the garbage in the water. So when you get a system that's pulling out 95 to 99%, it's a totally different game. So it's water you can put in your throat and trust that it's actually working for your body. Because when you purify the water, it's almost like synthetic oil for your car. It just works better. It just does. And
Well, let's say somebody's watching and say, I want to find out about this. First, it's free to find out, right?
Absolutely.
Free to call you, ask you a million questions like I'm doing here. And
Absolutely. And it doesn't matter where you are in the valley, one of my guys can reach you. It's a free evaluation. We'll come, we'll show you what your water is. I mean, literally show you exactly what your water is, show you some options. There's no obligation whatsoever. I mean, we love what we do. All of the guys on my team from Bakersfield to Sacramento are all actually friends of mine that have been in the industry for years.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing.
Right. Well, I was just going to say, there's all these new guys banging on your door, but you guys have been doing it for a long time.
We've been doing this as Nuvia. The owner started the company as Nuvia in 2010, so we got 10 years, and we stretch all the way to Texas. We're not some little tiny company.
And you're up on all the newest technology and stuff,
too, yeah. Our system's literally, there's just no other system on the market that does what ours does, and I can say that with a very straight face. And without going into great detail, just know that we know what we're doing. We only use the finest materials because we want to put the best product on the market. We want to be the Apple of water.
Well, as you described it to me a few times, your kids are safe. You feel safe, like you're doing something great for your daughter and your wife, and you're not worried about what they're absorbing through the water. It's a kind of a fatherly thing to do. If you're a dad out there, take care of your family, get them clean water.
It's absolutely true, Mike. Every day I walk into a house and they're holding a baby or there's a small child running around, and I point at that kid and I said, that's why I'm here. You see, as adults, we make our own decisions. We're good, you know, I mean, we do what we do.
Yeah.
As we were talking about before the lights went on. We do what we do. But when it comes to our kids, the decisions we make directly affect them and they don't have a say in it. Right. So I tried to impress upon parents that, you know, you would take a bullet for your child, you would jump in front of a bus for your child. Let's fix the water.
Yeah, don't give them 18 years of bad water.
No, I mean, because when you're talking about chloramine, you have to understand this stuff attacks the human body on a cellular level.
Right.
So if we're exposing our kids to that, what's going to happen when they have kids? And I don't know, but I would rather not find out the hard way.
It's not getting better out there, is it? The water.
It'll never get better.
Yeah.
Every time Lennar or Wilson or Bonadelli, whoever builds another subdivision, we stretch the same drop of water a little further. Yeah. It's finite, and more toxic waste gets into the water, and more, you know, more fertilizer gets in the water, and all that. Literally, there's no reason to let raw water in your house. It's just not.
It's dangerous. Yeah,
it's totally dangerous.
We got a lot of graphs and stuff up there. If somebody wants more information, is there a website or someplace they could go to really research this?
Yeah, you can go to one place to research the water. You can do it in your own zip code. Go to ewg.org, and there's when you look down the list, there's one that says Tap Water Database. When you click on that, it gives you a prompt to put your own zip code in, and sometimes it actually breaks it down to the neighborhood. Like Riverstone is actually represented there. It'll tell you what's in your water at what levels that are considered safe or legal, and trust me when I say that legal doesn't equal safe. It says it right on the front page. Also, you can find me at NuviaWaterTechnologies.com. That's our website. You can find me at Erick at NuviaWater.com. Call my phone number. I can get you hooked up.
Yeah, Nuvia Water. Just Google Nuvia Water. You'll find it. But if you want to reach Erick direct and you're not writing this number down, the 903-4850, call me. I'll give you his direct number. Is that all right?
That's absolutely.
Save your family. Save your children. Save your parents. My parents are 85 years old, and they're worried about getting this COVID, but they're drinking. You know, they got the poison water going in.
Well, it gets more interesting when you think about it. If you're having to go to the store to buy water, you are running the risk.
Yeah,
so,
just even going to the store to buy water.
Just going to the store and having to lift up the weight and all of that. And Costco is only allowing 2 cases per family per visit.
You have to go more then, be exposed more to more people that way.
And you know, if let's just say the governor locks us all down again for real, wouldn't you rather already have it? Right. And ultimately, I need to impress upon you all that when we do the budgetary side-by-side, almost always people are already paying for it. They just don't have it.
They're already paying for
so
it.
I can replace all of your cleaning product cost, all your bottled water cost, keep you home. At least it'll keep you from getting any more exposed to randomly or being exposed.
I know we're out of time, but I want to ask you another quick question. I've had people tell me that once they get Nuvia, that everything works better. Their washer, their dishwasher, that it takes less detergent, and the dishes just come out cleaner without all those spots and stuff.
You have to understand water does the work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you buy a bottle of Tide, there's 22 chemicals in it. Most of them are dedicated to fighting the chemicals already in your water. They have to break down the water so that the soap that's in there can work. When you've already fixed the water, it takes it like 1/5 of the soap, just soap.
Yeah, another savings, because that soap's expensive.
Absolutely, and we provide a package that literally will keep a family of 4 from having to buy any cleaning products for probably 5 years.
Nice.
Yeah, and it just depends on the size of the family, what the water use, how much do you use stuff. Every house is different, and we just want to make it as easy as possible. And we just got some new banks that literally give us the most amazing finance options. It's mind-blowing how at first COVID destroyed our banks, and now we got new banks that literally give us better deals for our clients.
Deals, yeah.
So there's really no excuse to let this in your house when I can save you money and save the day.
Right. Well, if you're home, stuck at home right now, and you're watching us, and you say, wow, I could, it's free to find out. Call Erick. Call Erick Carson, 559-903-4850, and find out about this. Give the web address one more time.
Well, it's NuviaWaterTechnologies.com, or you can find me at Erick@NuviaWater.com.
Erick@NuviaWater.com. Call me here. I'll put you in touch with him. Anything else you want our viewers to know?
We're looking out for you guys. We're trying to save the universe one house at a time.
Very good. We'll be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.